Classifications, like we said, convenience goods that you buy, don't do a lot of thinking in a very short time, either because it's an impulse good, you kind of feel you want to buy it, you grab it, or it's an emergency, you just run, you could take it, run. Specialty goods are products that are very special, so they need, they need to have very good branding. Maybe people will take their time to reach you. They're willing to spend maybe 2 hours to get that special product. And then shopping goods, people don't buy directly. Even if they like it and it's very good, some people will not just buy it. I need to do more shopping before I buy it. I need to check what others and what. And then unsought goods, these are things people don't realize why they need until they, maybe you're in an unsought, service. Because people don't realize they need to install security in their network. So here you need to, maybe it's a requirement, maybe it's a legal requirement, they heard of cases. So you need to have more salespeople. Tell them, hey, if someone hacks into your system, this is what happened to your competitor. Therefore, they can maybe think about buying. So here we've got the industrial goods. This is you use to process other goods. Idea of brand differentiation. Remember, it goes like STP. Segmentation, targeting, and then positioning. Now, an important theme behind those is differentiation. You need to be different. You don't want people to mix you with others or with the wrong people. So our idea of differentiation comes where? In your price, in your product price. It also can come, we're talking here about product differentiation, even though you can differentiation in your, in your promotion or in your distribution. But product differentiation becomes very important. We've got all of these. So how are your product or your project going to be different in terms of its form? You see, the form. You see, they have classes, but this class has this U shape or has this type of screen. You see, customization. How much are you willing to customize your product for your customer? Do you see? For example, in the Toyota case at the end of the chapter, talked about how they do, in different markets, special features that will fulfill, customers there. People can also order what they actually want. The performance, reliability, style, repairability, conformance, durability, features.
What he means by conformance?
Conformance is how it confirms. For example, do you guys remember if you go and you buy apples? Yes. Did you notice that all the apples are exactly the same size? And if you go again, the same apple has this small logo on it. Did you see those apples with those logos, stickers? Yeah. So you go next day, tomorrow, the day after, it's exactly the same apple. They have very high conformance in those apples. Yeah, again and again.
So
almost same apple. They make the same apple every time. They try. Can you imagine? Same size, same specifications.
Yes, standards.
You see, same specifications. Now, for example, you remember when you go and you buy a can of Pepsi? Every time it tastes the same, even though you get a different bottle, but it's the same taste every time, everywhere, that's conformance. Now, did you try those products where, you go to, what is it?
Restaurant.
Yeah.
Once it's good.
Yeah, you go, sometimes some of these low quality restaurants, you go, it's not the same every time you go.
They meet the
Okay.
promised,
It's not the same. Did you saw those, tomatoes? Some of these no brand tomato. Every day, a completely different tomato, inside, outside, taste, color, everything. Do you see? Even the kilo is not the same kilo. So that's the idea of conformance. It's how much you can do it the same.
They meet the promise of
conformance is the similarity of the quality.
Yeah, the same specifications. See, some companies, they say, our product is, let's say, we are plus or minus 2%. You see? So every time you buy, the deviation is plus or minus 2%. Some 0.001%. Do you see? That's a level of conformance to the specifications. And also conformance is how are we conforming to what we say. For example, if you take a course, you take the same course again, will it be completely the same? How much conformance do we get? Do you see? Or is it every course you take completely different, even though it's the same course?
Or is it different?
You see, that's the idea of conformance. Now it becomes conformance more difficult when it comes to services, because you can't have the same person. If you go to have a haircut every day, will you get exactly the same haircut with the same barber? Sometimes even it doesn't work the same way. But we try to keep the same level. That's why we have the same syllabus. Try to keep the same book. Try to have the same, in order to make sure that there is some sort of a conformance. So if you take this class here, you take this class in India, from the same institution, branches, they have the same standard. Okay. Next we talked about service differentiation. So services are more difficult to differentiate. So how do people differentiate? They differentiate through making it easy, or provide more consulting, provide better delivery. You provide installation included. You also add training. You add repair. So you can differentiate through services. Do you see? So let's say you go to the street, 100 stores, they sell solar power. How can you differentiate if you are in the business of solar power? You also, maybe you differentiate easy order. You can call us by phone, we deliver. That's a differentiation. We're the only people you can call us, we come and install it. Do you see? That's a differentiation way. Your design can also be a source of differentiation.
When you said functional benefits and
aesthetic benefit?
yes.
Yeah, sometimes it's the same idea, function versus form.
Yeah.
Do you see? So it's the same thing. It's a functional versus aesthetic. Do you see? So which one is more? Do I pay attention to the function or do I pay to the form? Do you see? Here we talked about the product hierarchy, system, line, length, mix, pricing, and co-branding. Any questions on these? This is an example of the hierarchy. Here is the width, length, consistency. Also, consistency is important because even if you do version 1, version 2, but they're consistent in what they do.
Yes.
Do you see? This is an example of a product mix. We've got this width, different products, product line. We've got very similar under the same width. And then depth would be like era version I, era version S, zest for kids, zest for babies. Product line analysis is when you start to look at your sales, profits. What is your market portfolio? How many of these do you have? Product item contribution. You need to analyze. Look, what products do I have? How much I make money on each? How much profit? Now, this 5 is very small. This one is very big. What does that mean to me? And you see how much they contribute. And then we've got the product map. This is important to see where you fit with your competition. So we talked about, maybe company D here, they're doing very well on the low, while company A, they're doing on the extra high. If you are product X, where you are. Maybe if you are here, no one competes with you on the 150. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. Do you see? Maybe if you're not there, maybe customers don't really like that size. And then product line length, how you stretch. If all of these are different, products that you sell in your company, then, maybe you've got the shampoo, you've got the deodorant, you've got the cream, the, special conditioner. Maybe you want to add, maybe you have here, I don't know, maybe, what is it? Eye drops maybe. Okay, or maybe you need to add here something that is for clothes. Maybe you want to do personal care that is going to make your after shower gel. Do you see? So if you're going to add something in the middle, then that's going to be filling. If you add in the middle, if you will add something here on the sides, then that's when you're going to stretch. You will add it more.
So stretching
Yeah, you make it
the
more.
width.
You make it.
Has to do with the width, right?
Yeah, it has to do with the width, and even on the length, but it will be lengthier, or more width, or depth. You add more and more dimension. Okay, you take one dimension and you make it bigger.
Here, there is a third option is two-way stretch.
Yeah, you do add one more here and one here.
Dimension, you make it length and depth at the same time. I mean, you add the mobile.
We've got product mix. This is how you do pricing. Okay, you can do pricing based on a product line. So this line has this price level, this price level, this price level. Optional based on the features. You want a car with the wheels, you pay this. You want it with without the wheels, you pay that. By product, it's what goes along with the product. So maybe this car, you don't need to change any items. There's no oil change. You see, that's a price. If you have to do an oil change every once in a while, that's another price. If you use oil that is very dangerous, and then you need to take the oil and dispose it in a certain manner, then that's another price, right? Captive, it's what things you need to get. Let's say this car, it goes along, it doesn't use, it uses solar system. Do you see? So, those people, maybe there are pieces you will. The good example for captive product will be the razors and blades. You guys know the razors and blades?
Yeah.
Remember, I can give you free printer if you're going to buy the cartridge from me every while.
Yeah.
You see, so the price of the printer dependent on the price of the cartridge. And then the two-part pricing is you've got two parts, and
How to price?
two parts. So you need to buy the two parts. So the price will depending on what part you buy.
Oh, okay. So
Compound.
if you buy this, maybe I would give you
You have to buy the two things together.
like individuals.
Like when a supermarket you have to buy.
So, here on co-branding and ingredient branding, idea of co-branding is becoming very powerful because you can use the power of two brands to get customers. You can get also the power of other brand customers to buy my brand, or and in exchange I give my customers to the other brand. So the book talks about
Like when some car manufacturers.
car
They
manufacturers.
usually link with the tire company. So
They
for
link with a
example,
tire company.
Mercedes usually they sell Continental.
Yes.
Continental
So once
tires.
we've got this Continental and Mercedes, then people will be okay. So this is great. So, but also co-branding. Normally, you see the two logos on one product. That's the best way to differentiate a real co-branding. Here when you integrate brand, like
Sony
one
Ericsson.
part to one part,
Yes.
that's more of ingredient. But co-brand, you have two different logos on one
Sony
product.
Ericsson.
Sony Ericsson. Okay. See, sometimes you've got this two from the same company. You can have them on a joint venture where they actually became a one company, like the Sony Ericsson, the Fujitsu Siemens.
So this
And
is
you have
co-branding.
this multi-sponsor. The idea of a multi-sponsor is where, they talked about, where is it? You get CAC card, and if you use it, it will give you Y telecom units. So the more you use the card, the more Y telecom units you get. And here we've got more than one
This is
sponsor.
co-branding.
That's a co-branding.
And ingredient.
Ingredient branding is when you have more than one brand together. Not necessarily two same
Hudson?
brands on one type of product.
Hudson?
You see? Maybe Hudson and Sony, they're always under one umbrella of Al-Haydari. So they integrate those brands. It talks about retailing co-branding. Like every time you see KFC and
Pepsi.
what is it?
Baskin Robbins.
You see KFC and Pizza Hut. You know, they're really owned by the same company, by the
And
way.
Pepsi, which is Pepsi.
That's why it's in the KFC you see.
Yeah, you see them together and Taco Bell. So that's one way to you know, you've got different brands, but you get them together. It gives you more value. People more willing to.
What about the Sprint?
Samsung and Sprint is also another example. Let's see. Packaging and labeling. It talks about packaging objectives. You know, why good package will sell.
Identify you.
It identify you. It will persuade you. Sometimes it looks appealing, or maybe it's got a function, you know, for ketchup, or maybe it looks, you know, easy for you to grip. It also gives you protection. It protects the product itself.
Or you can reuse it.
Maybe you can reuse
It
it.
describes the product.
Describes the product.
What's red?
At home storage. How you store it at home. You don't want to have a big, you know, bottle that you can't. Where do I put this? I want it in a size that I can put it on the refrigerator. Do you see? And also how aid consumption.
It plays with the price also.
Do what?
Plays with the price. Like reduction cost. Yeah.
Cost